Welcome back to Corner Stories. Please enjoy this video and don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. And now let's get on to story 1. My eldest daughter will be 11 this year. When she turned 1, I invited all my husband's family to her birthday party in a nice restaurant. We all live in the same city. They all said that they would come. I made a reservation, pre-ordered food and paid for everything. There should have been 15 people coming. A week before the dinner, my mother-in-law reached out to me and told me that no one would come. Everyone was busy and there was Easter coming. I didn't make a big deal out of it, just called my friends, told them that as friends they needed to help me out in this tough situation, come and eat all the food. We had amazing time. On the day of the party, my mother-in-law called and asked if she could come to our house for a visit. I answered that we were busy with birthday dinner that day, but she was welcome to visit any other day. She asked, "What dinner?" I answered, "The one I prepaid, but now with people who were not so busy preparing for Easter." She didn't answer anything to that, so I moved to another topic after the pause. Again, didn't make a big deal out of it. Since then I never invited my husband's family to any gathering I hosted. If someone just want to visit, I'm always welcoming and polite. But no family parties. My mother-in-law finally snapped after the new year. She told me that it's been 10 years, and I need to stop ignoring family. I told her that I was ignoring no one. I literally talked to her sister and niece last week. It's just I'm not going to waste money on people who might or might not come ever again. If they apologized, I'd start inviting them, but it didn't come to their mind. And I'm not going to teach a bunch of adults manners and when apology expected. I have 2 kids to teach and that's more than enough, but it's been 10 years, a little too long to hold on to such a small thing. Update. Sorry, forgot to mention, the food payment wasn't refundable. Update 2. Hey everyone. I'm really thankful to everyone who put their time and effort in commenting. I read everything, and though I'm thankful for the support the majority of people have given me, I kind of agree with the people that said I was wrong. I mean, at this point it's just a very silly situation. We have a baptism next month and not inviting people would cause more drama, which I would hate. It's just not worth it. Comment. Curious if they knew it was a paid meal and they would not be expected to pay. OP sure. In my country a person who invites 100% is expected to pay. Comment. This is hilarious. You are a spitfire. Keep pretending you have no idea what she's talking about. I wonder. How did mother-in-law manage to cancel for everyone? Did she make that up and tell them all it was cancelled? I really don't think that it was some evil master plan aimed at me. What I think happened is that they were lazy and, oh, we need to do this and that before Easter and it's not the right time. Like they didn't have anything planned specifically for the time of the dinner, but it would be tiresome to include it in their schedule. Well, this is what I think happened. I was just pissed that first they agreed and then changed their mind. Comment. It's weird that she called you on that day asking for a dinner invitation after cancelling earlier. Was she trying to be a FB granny, go to your LO's party, take lots of pictures and leave? And why is it your responsibility to do the social planning between your family and your in-laws? That's something that your DH should have done and be responsible for. Regardless, you were a badass and took a firm stance and did a great job, not letting anyone bully you because they, screwed up. OP no, it wasn't her plan. She wasn't aware that we still were going to dinner. She just visits us a lot at home and it wasn't an unusual call. Comment. Obviously your in-laws suck, but I'm seriously flummoxed why anyone would do an expensive, prepaid restaurant family dinner for a 1-year-old's birthday. Is this some cultural thing? Were there supposed to be other young kids in attendance? Because if there were, that sounds like a nightmare for all involved, including waitstaff. OP we had another party at home for young kids so everyone would be comfortable. I just thought it was a polite thing to do to involve family in celebration as well, because they were talking a lot about the gifts they had prepared for my daughter. Comment. Just curious, where was the husband? It's his mother after all, in all this. He should have handled it when they cancelled the first time. I asked him not to make a big deal out of it. If people show me who they are, I usually don't have a need to confront them or make a conflict. I prefer to just believe them and move on with this new information in mind. Update, February 4, 2024. Hey everyone, 2 weeks back, I posted about my MIL being upset that I never invite her side of the family to. It all started 10 years ago when I invited them to my daughter's first birthday, and they all cancelled after I'd already paid for the restaurant and food. Got lots of support here, but also agreed with the folks said it was time to patch things up for the sake of my kids and have a big family thing. So, I decided to invite them to my youngest daughter's christening. It happened yesterday, and here's how it went if anyone's curious. This time, called everyone individually, said sorry for the short notice, 10 days, invited them with all the details, and even texted the time and place. Most people were excited and accepted, and those who couldn't make it had legit reasons. We planned to meet at the church and then hit a nearby shashlik, barbecue, restaurant to celebrate. I reserved the place and ordered enough shashlik for 25 people. At the church, everyone was there, but I was surprised to be greeted by two women I had never seen before. I assumed they were church volunteers. In my country it's a usual thing. They help out with candles and provide guidance if needed. I didn't give it much thought, as there were a lot of people and I needed to be focused on a lot of staff, but these women stuck close to the family during the ceremony. Which, again, was surprising, but not much. Fast forward to the restaurant, and my MIL is fussing if we have enough seats, plates and foods for everyone. I wonder, why wouldn't we look around and see those two ladies making themselves comfortable. I talked to my husband about it, and he didn't know them either. MIL overheard, and turns out, they were my MIL's brother's nieces from his wife's side from another city, who were staying with him for a week, and they were invited by my MIL yesterday, because all family is invited. She didn't bother giving us a heads up, because it was late in the evening and she didn't want to disturb us. I didn't tell anything to the uninvited guests because they genuinely thought they were invited and it wasn't their fault. But AITAH for telling my MIL, her brother and his wife exactly what I think about the situation in a direct way and ruining such a nice event for them. Relevant comments. She should have told you. It's directly her fault that it wasn't set up to cover the number of people who came, and why didn't she at least say something upon arriving at the church? You could have called the restaurant in advance to have 2 extra seats set up. I wouldn't have brought it up though. You're trying to include more family for your children. If it happens again, that's when I'd bring it up. This is what pisses me off. It could have been so not an issue had she told me in advance. Even with her not telling me was just a small hitch. The situation itself, when MIL just did what she wanted without any concerns about my opinion or inconvenience it may cause me, that's what irritates me. Comment. Can anyone explain why people associate christenings with barbecue? I've seen it before. It seems like an odd combo. I had no idea about any association. I just love shashlik and it was a nice place within a 5-minute walk from the church with a beautiful river nearby. Story 2. I'm a middle-aged woman with hair loss. It's not alopecia. It is caused by my hypothyroidism, but I have been told it's technically not considered medical hair loss. This is important. I wear wigs, like all the time. I rarely leave the house without one on and I frequently wear them in my home, too. Jay is a coworker who has autism, anxiety, and multiple sensory perception issues. The company is committed to accommodating these, and I completely agree with that. For a little context, my son and daughter are both neurodivergent and have their own differences, which I hope their workplaces will always accommodate. Jay recently learned that I wear wigs. This bothers him to the point of distraction and anxiety where he cannot focus on anything when I am present. He stares at my head and seems unable to stop. He asked me if I could take it off for him, just so he could see my head, and that maybe after that he'd be able to get back to normal. But he admitted he doesn't know if that would work, and that he might still be unable to function normally with me around, wearing my wig. I told him I'd think about it. But everything inside me says no. This was last week, and I haven't seen him since then, but he escalated the matter. I've been told that since I'm essentially wearing my wig for cosmetic reasons, rather than a medical reason, I have to remove it to be in compliance with Jay's accommodations. I then said I would agree to remove it for him privately, once, but I do not want to agree to never wear a wig around him. That would be distressing for me. This matter was reviewed for a day before I received a response this morning. Essentially, I have now been told that this is only my vanity, and I need to get on board with accommodating Jay's very real issues, even if that means going wigless at work. I don't know what to do. Should I contact Jay about it personally? Or continue to only communicate through my supervisor and HR? What are my options? ETA, I've been asked how Jay learned I wear wigs. I'm actually very open about it. Jay was present and within clear hearing distance when a colleague and I had a conversation about it. ETA 2, I'm going to share a couple things about me, so this might make more sense. First, I'm known for being very strong, tough. I'm the only woman in my department and in our immediate adjacent departments. My coworkers would likely never think that my hair loss is truly upsetting for me. I'm sure they think that I've taken it in stride and wear wigs for the fun of it. Second, everyone knows my son is autistic and I care very deeply about the challenges autistic people face. A few years ago, I helped a former coworker, who also has autism, fight for accommodations regarding the mask issue. So being that I'm perceived as tough, but also quite sympathetic towards the needs of autistic people, I'm sure they all thought that I would immediately agree to whatever would make Jay comfortable. Relevant comments: only water in the forest. Info: who told you your hair loss wasn't medical hair loss? It is caused by my hypothyroidism, but I have been told it's technically not considered medical hair loss. This is important. You have hair loss due to a medical condition, hypothyroidism. Why does your coworker's medical conditions trump yours? OOP: initially, I was told that by both my insurance company, and then my doctor's office when I asked to get a wig covered by my health insurance. My hair loss is a side effect of a medical condition, not a medical condition in and of itself. This is also what was told to me by HR this week, when this began. You have hair loss due to a medical condition, hypothyroidism. Why does your coworker's medical conditions trump yours? Company policy states that my hair loss is not a medical condition in and of itself and thus, my wig wearing is only for cosmetic purposes. Jay's sensory perception issues outweigh my vanity. Zucchini Practical 410, essentially, I have now been told that this is only my vanity, and I need to get on board with accommodating Jay's very real issues, even if that means going wigless at work. Is this what HR is telling you? OOP: yes. The HR person with whom I have been communicating is a man with hair loss, who keeps his head shaved bald. He made a point of mentioning it and expressed that he empathizes with my desire not to be wigless at work, but that doesn't change their stance. The Spanish German: hers isn't anywhere as serious. She just wants to wear her wig. That might be a legal accommodation, but it's not comparable to sensory issues. Glasses are needed for eyesight. Just as crucial as sensory focus. Backpacks are needed to move stuff. Her wig is needed to pretend she has hair that by now everyone knows she hasn't. I get her point, but come on, to say that an autistic person should be effectively put in danger of losing their job because she wants to wear her wig is not only ridiculous, it's downright evil. OOP: no, I do not wear it to pretend I have hair. I sometimes wear high heels and at 5 feet 10 inches, it's not to pretend I'm taller than I am lol. I wear wigs because I hate the way I look without them. It makes me cry. It makes me sick to my stomach. I cannot stand for people to see me that way. People do treat me differently when they see me without any head covering, and that is an issue as well. Update: a few hours later on a similar post on a different subreddit. I'm currently having an issue at work which I posted about earlier today, here. Earlier in the week, I had a brief conversation about it with Emily from HR, who informed me that my coworker had gone to them about his problem with me and she asked me a few questions. Completely standard procedure here. This morning, I had a conversation with Tim from HR, who is the person actually handling it. Just now, I received a message from Emily. She said she wants to call me to talk about it, off the record. This may seem self-explanatory, but I'm trying to understand the motivation. Is it off the record for her protection? Or for mine? Should I even take her call? Update: first, thank you all very much for your advice. I truly appreciate it. Second, Emily is in HR temporarily, while someone else, Alicia, is on maternity leave. Third, I decided to take Emily's call, but only listen. Emily said she was calling to tell me that when I reply to Tim's email, I can CC Alicia. She said that Alicia is checking her email regularly. I thanked her and we ended the call. The important point here is that Alicia is a black woman who herself wears wigs, and wigs are at the heart of this issue. So she may have a different take on all this. Final update: on original post February 3, 2024, 1 day later, final edit update. Additional HR people got involved and I've been told I will not have to remove my wig, ever. Basically, after this issue was brought to the attention of someone else from HR, Alicia, who also wears wigs, but is on maternity leave right now, a lot happened very quickly. I had a video chat with Alicia, Tim, the HR person who initially told me I would have to remove my wig, one of their higher-ups in HR as well as someone from legal. So once the right people were alerted to what was happening, it was taken very seriously. I was assured in the video chat, as well as via text and phone call with Alicia in addition to multiple emails and documents, that I will not be asked or required to remove my wig. Jay and I are not to have any further communication regarding this. We've both been instructed that if either of us attempts to discuss it with the other, we are to report it. So it's over. I appreciate all the comments, advice and support I received here. Thank you. Additional comments from OP on why HR would even entertain this. Why did HR entertain this? Well, unfortunately, in the past, my company had a pattern of failing to provide accommodations to people with disabilities. Especially those with invisible disabilities. In recent years, they've been making strong efforts to change that. I think this is an example of the HR rep involved, overzealously attempting to accommodate someone who they already know has disabilities. Because they don't want to be accused of not accommodating people again. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to connect with each other in the comments below. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I'll catch you in the next video. Corner Stories signing off.